question who I am and how I could have done the things I did. I'm embarrassed that I have put you in this position. For all that I have done, I am so sorry.
Tiger Woods speaking just a short while ago from Ponte Vedra, Florida, the PGA Tour headquarters, making his first public statements since his scandal began nearly 3 months ago. We've heard from our First and 10 panel. We heard their thoughts on how Tiger handled this situation, but now it's time to talk to an expert. How did Tiger do to the trained eye? We spoke with Lauren Bloom. She is an expert on the apology before Tiger Woods' speech. We asked her what she wanted to see and hear from Tiger. She watched, as we did, and now she's here to give us her feedback. Lauren, good to see you again. Welcome back. How did Tiger do? Let's give him a letter grade.
Okay, I'll give him an A-. I thought he did a really good job. I recognize what some people have said about how nice it would have been if he'd been able to set the script aside or seemed a little less scripted. But remember, this is an athlete, not an actor. And I am convinced that he spoke from the heart. I think he was straightforward. I think he took responsibility for what he did. He said he was sorry. I believed him. I think he was sincere. The only critique I might give him was I don't think this was necessarily the right venue to be quite as aggressive with the press as he was.
He was a little on the attack when he talked about the media. I wanted to ask you specifically about that. One could say it's not the venue, but at the same time, you could tell that that was the one thing that bothered him most about the handling, the media's handling of this story. Maybe I'm reading into this too much. Does that show us exactly how important Tiger's family is to him? Does it perhaps connect a bond there for you?
I hope so. I would like to think that's what it is. I know he's a very private man and has always tried to be a private man. And I can respect that, but he is also a public figure, just by virtue of his standing in the game. So he has to anticipate that the media is going to have questions about him and his behavior. I think he could have asked those same things. Please leave my family alone. Please give me some space to talk about this with my wife. Please don't ask me to go into the details, without the anger, and it probably would have been even more effective. Okay.
Let me ask you this. Was there anything that you were hoping to hear? Not specifically Tiger addressing his past, but was there anything that you wanted him to hear in apologizing that you didn't hear?
The one thing I wonder about a little bit, and I can't say he didn't say this, but I'll be interested to see when, in fact, he does come back to the game, what he does. I think he and his wife are absolutely right. That now we've heard the apology, and the words are there, and they were real good words. Let's see what his behavior is going forward.
Okay, last question. You gave him an A-, and our panel, Pat particularly, spoke of how difficult that has to be, to stand in front of a video camera, but really the world, and admit that you've done some terrible things. Moving forward from here, let's actually put it in perspective. Of the celebrity apologies that you have seen, how does Tiger Woods fit into some of the more famous apologies?
It was excellent. It really was. Because let's admit that what he did was dreadful but personal. You're not talking about someone like, say, former Governor Spitzer of New York, who broke the law numerous times in a very similar way. He also made a public statement, but I think had an easier time with it because he's more of a politician and a public figure anyway. I think, as I say, if he had not lost his temper a little bit with the media, I would have given this an A+. I think he did a terrific job, and particularly a terrific job given how difficult it must have been to admit to what he did wrong. This wasn't an easy day today.
Very good. Lauren Bloom, she is an expert on the apology. Someone we should all have on speed dial, by the way. Lauren, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on. Lauren gives high marks. Lauren gives Tiger Woods an A- for his handling of his apology, but do know this. Stephen A. Smith listened, and he heard something much different